The only terrorist survivor of the murderous ISIS attack on Paris that killed 130 people refused to confirm his identity as he appeared in court today. Salah Abdeslam, 28, was flanked by two Special Forces police officers brandishing machine guns and wearing balaclavas at the start of a trial in Brussels. In hugely dramatic scenes at the Palais de Justice, the notorious jihadi refused to confirm his personal details and made it clear he would remain silent throughout the four-day process if found guilty of terrorist charges, along with 24-year-old Sofiane Ayari, an alleged accomplice from Tunisia. He faces up to 40 years in prison. Abdeslam was wearing a white jacket and thick black beard as he was led in front of judges, one of whom said, "Confirm your identity. Are you Salah Abdeslam? Say who you are." In turn, the French passport holder from a Moroccan background who was brought up in Brussels stared at the floor. The failed suicide bomber and so-called quartermaster of the November 13, 2015 massacre was captured in Belgium 4 months later. Today's trial relates to a shootout with police in March 2016, with Abdeslam and Ayari accused of possession of weapons and attempted murder in a terrorist context. There will be another process later this year or in 2019 in Paris, when Abdeslam will face trial in relation to the attacks in France. Meanwhile, there were 200 armed officers inside the court building in Brussels alone today, where Abdeslam appeared inside the 90th Correctional Chamber. It was the first time he has been seen in a public court since being shot in the leg during his dramatic capture. The Paris attacks were on the Stade de France during a football international between France and Germany. Bars, restaurants, and the Bataclan music venue where 90 died. Among the 9 attackers involved was Abdeslam's brother Brahim Abdeslam, 31, who blew himself up inside a packed restaurant. Both men had run a bar in the Belgium capital, in the Molenbeek district, where Salah Abdeslam was eventually found hiding on March 18, 2016. He was then linked to another ISIS attack in Brussels 4 days later on March 22, 2016, when a total of 32 people were killed in coordinated suicide attacks on the city's airport and an underground train station. Anti-terrorist judges and police were hoping the trial today would shed light on the way groups like ISIS operate in Europe. But Abdeslam is adamant that he will not cooperate. Among those represented in court today were 3 officers belonging to the Franco-Belgian investigation team who were wounded during Abdeslam's capture. The civil parties also include victims of the Brussels bombings, who asked to be included in proceedings at the last minute. This led to Sven Mary, Abdeslam's lawyer, asking for adjournment. It was discussed by the bench. As the 2 defendants were briefly let out of the dock, the trial continues.
Where the freaks at?